In the short film Waiting, we follow a young girl and an older woman who are cornered by a group of robbers while waiting for a bus in the middle of the night, when suddenly something creepy happens. An older woman is chilling at the bus stop, just reading the ad on the side, when she's joined by a young girl who's on her way to a Halloween party. As time passes, the young girl grows impatient because the bus is taking forever and a day to arrive. When she hears a crack of thunder, she checks the weather on her phone and sees that there's going to be a thunderstorm. The news in the corner catches her attention. Apparently, a meteor, or some sort of space junk, entered Earth's atmosphere half an hour ago. But honestly, she doesn't really care and dismisses it. She gets a text from someone named Ruth, who I suspect is her girlfriend, but it's never specified. Ruth is wondering where our mystery girl is since she hasn't arrived at the party. While waiting for the bus, the young girl takes out her contacts and offers the old lady some candy. While they enjoy their snack in silence, something moves in the shadows. At the same time, the signal on the young girl's phone becomes weaker and weaker. She gets another text from Ruth, who admits that she's getting worried because some weirdos were banging on her door. They've stopped now, but she still feels uneasy. The phone signal cuts out before the young girl can respond. When she sees eyes watching her from the shadows, she knows that she's being watched. She tries to warn the old lady, but the old lady falls asleep. Fear flashes in her eyes as zombies spring from the shadows and head towards them. The young girl freaks out and tries to warn the old lady, but she's too tired to care, so she stands in front of the old lady to protect her. The zombies are closing in when suddenly they remove their masks. Turns out it was just a prank. Haha, I'm kidding. Empty your pockets, bitch. Lucky for them, the bus is coming, so the robbers head back into the shadows to hide. The young girl holds her hand out to flag down the bus, but it's out of service, so it drives right past them. She peeks out into the road to see if the coast is clear. Ruth texts back asking if she's coming. The young girl says no and asks if Ruth is okay. Ruth said the weirdos are gone, but we can't see the rest of the message because of the lost signal. The young girl is so distracted that she doesn't even notice the robbers have snuck up on her. They silence the old woman as they creep up on the young girl. They're closing in, ready to attack, when the old woman's face falls off. A monster springs out from within her hood and eats the robbers one by one. One of them tries running away, but the monster catches up to him. Meanwhile, the signal is back and the young girl receives the rest of Ruth's text, saying that she isn't leaving the party and she's going to wait for the girl to arrive. The young girl is once again so distracted that she doesn't notice the monster sniffing her over her shoulder and preparing to make her into its next meal. The young girl gets lucky for the second time that night when the bus comes. The monster changes its mind and puts its old lady mask back on just in time for the girl to turn around and say goodbye before hopping onto the bus. When the bus leaves, a UFO stops by to pick up the old lady. This film was creepy and used silence to its advantage. You hear a cat meowing and the occasional eerie background music throughout the film, and they worked together really well to create an uneasy atmosphere. The film also creatively foreshadowed the ending. Throughout the film, we're shown the advertisement on the side of the bus stop. This foreshadowed the twist in the end when the monster finally reveals itself and does exactly what the ad says by having a snack while waiting for the bus. Some believe that the monster was never going to eat the girl since she offered it a snack and stood in front of it to protect it, but I believe otherwise. It was clearly hungry and it also sniffed her, and I don't think it would have done that if it didn't plan on eating her. There's also an Easter egg in the beginning that reveals the twist ending. In the beginning, the girl checks her phone and sees a news story about space junk entering the atmosphere. By the end, you realize that the space junk mentioned in the news story was actually the UFO that came to pick up the alien at the end of the film. This film depicts the important lesson of trusting your gut instinct and to always be aware of your surroundings. In the beginning, the young girl stares out into the dark. She knows there's something out there, but because she can't see it, she shrugs it off. We don't know how far away she was from her home, but it looks like she's in the middle of nowhere, so maybe there was no way for her to avoid the situation when she was in it. Additionally, the young girl was not paying attention to her surroundings. She was constantly on her phone and not paying attention to what was happening around her. Because of this, she missed noticing the robbers surrounding her. She even missed the full-on alien hovering over her shoulder, debating if it should eat her or not. This film kind of reminds me of the whole stranger danger saying. Just being aware of what's happening around you, be aware of the people surrounding you, because you never know who strangers really are. You don't know if they're a wolf in sheep's clothing, if they're a monster hiding in plain sight, just waiting to do you harm.